So I am just over the moon to be talking with you today, Robin. We are talking about our new program that we're putting together, the Writer's Haven. And I love, Robin, that we didn't know what we were going to create. We just knew there was something that we needed to do together.
Yeah.
And we just kept having meetings and calls and going, so what's this thing? What is the thing we're being called to do? I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, so and it was what a treat to do with you because we would like sit with it and, really,
Yeah.
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 So with this is something that what came out of us meeting and talking is to do a 9-month group coaching program to help people that are looking to write their memoir or inspirational book. And what I'm so jazzed about with this is I've worked with, I think it's like 80 authors now to become published authors, either through one of our collaboration books or books that people have done on their own. And something that has come up consistently that people usually don't, it doesn't really like connect with people at first. They don't say this is going to be a problem, but it shows up over and over again that people are afraid, and they might not say it's a fear, but there's a lot of nervous energy when it comes to actually publishing the book.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes what that can show up as is not actually, people might not know that, but they'll find 50 million other things that need to be doing. Right.
Yep.
Right. So, and I know that a lot of your work is helping people get comfortable in their own skin, more visible. So I went, oh, once that clicked in my head that I went, oh, this is something that could really help my authors get over that leap, right? Jump over that fence of, okay, I wrote the thing, or I'm blocked and I can't write the thing.
Yeah.
How have you helped people with doing things like that before? Or like, what do you find? What resonates for you in that?
Yeah. And I can even speak to personal experience because I've been writing a blog on my website for years now. And it's been a process to kind of find my voice. And it was always like I would be writing something and I'd have this voice back here and be like, oh, I don't know if you can actually say that. But then it's like, but can I say that? It's my writing. But then it was like, it would hold me back. And every single time it's like, I would get like nervous before hitting publish on my own site. And then I'd do it and I'd be like, okay. And then I've had just with my own clients, people come to me to gain clarity and confidence and really authenticity and like learning to own who they are. And that's either through expression of just, this is me, like being on camera, showing you, sharing my voice, or to, I want to write my story and I'm afraid to tell it because I'm afraid that I might hurt people, or I'm afraid for people to find out how I really feel about something. And so it's just like learning to kind of break down those layers and support people in that and showing them that it's like, yeah, you're not alone here. It's actually very common. And I've gone through it many times. You've gone through it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like just knowing that you have that support and having people who can just help you voice what it is that you want to say that you're maybe afraid.
And I know with my first book that I wrote, I didn't want to talk about it with literally anybody. Like I put the book out there and I was like, people would ask me questions about it. And I go, stop talking to me. Like I didn't actually want to have the conversations. And it was because at that time, I really wasn't comfortable with my own story or in my own skin. I wasn't grounded. It felt very, there was a disconnect going on, and I would have loved to have, so I can relate to it on that level when people are going through something like that, right? It's a different thing. writing the book is one thing, which it's wonderful to have support for the actual writing of the book and learning all the details of like, you know, editing format, all that jazz that comes into the book writing process. But to be also to be able to support people in this next level of growth for themselves, to using the book process, the book writing process for that growth is going to be, it's just, I get the chills thinking about being able to do that with people.
Yeah.
Because we, in the program, we tuned in and really thought about what we would want in a program, like what would have been supportive for us, what would be supportive of us. I know both of us have done coaching programs in different containers and, you know, seeing what works, what doesn't work. So we were able to use that experience to say, okay, how can we create an experience that's going to be really good for people? So there's different things. There's one-on-one support from both of us. There is the group container, group coaching calls. And then also I've been in programs where I had a partner during each month, right? So that you can, you know, and in this one, you get to actually like float writing ideas to people, or actually, here's a chapter, can you read it? Right? So you can get that feedback from another person that gets what you're going through and will be on your side 100%, right? So I know I wanted to talk, because you have had this experience of being in other programs and like going through them. And for people that haven't, or maybe had an experience that was not that positive before or whatever, I'd like to hear from you what, you know, what's the benefit of being in a really well-crafted container of support?
Yeah, it's just, and for me on so many levels, it's so deep and supportive. And it's like you literally are surrounded by people. It's like you've got your coach and your coaches who are there rooting for you, and they're supporting you with any blocks and anything you're working through in that way. And then you've got people who are also going through it as well, who can relate to you at that level. And the whole foundation of my work is creating safe and inspiring spaces for others to be seen and heard. And that's really what these group containers do, is they're safe spaces for you to show up and know that you have other people who are in your arena who are going to hold you, whether you're having like an awesome day and you're ready to put your work out there, or you're having a really tough day and you're like, I don't know that I can do this. And you really have people who can hold you in that. And that in itself is so priceless. And I was thinking about what you were saying. It's like, for you, you didn't want to talk about your book. And then there's me, who I've been talking about my book for years that I'm writing. And people will ask, because I'm an idea generator, and it's like, oh, I got to get it out in the world. I'm excited. And then they'll ask, how's your book going? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do my book. And so that's where the group container also comes in, is because it really holds you to it, to doing the thing that you say you want to do, so that you're not looking, because look, I'm already surprised. I'm like, we're starting this in September. That's 9 months into the year. So imagine if in January, you know, you had started a program, and then in September, it's like, oh my goodness, my book, it's written, it's marketed, it's birthed, it's ready to go out into the world. So that's what I love about that we've created this around 9 months, because it's like, yeah, it may seem like a long time, but no, who's surprised we're already in August?
That's so true. Oh my goodness. And we were talking too before we hit live about how everybody's journey on this is going to be different. So everybody's needs are going to be different. And some people might be able to crank out a book and like in a month, you said, you know, people just, that might not be the thing that they might need support around. They might need support in sharing the story, how best to share it, right? Or like, you know, and getting comfortable with that, or putting the book out there into the world, right? So we have a great support structure for, you know, publishing, putting them and becoming bestseller status, right? So you can pick all of our brains through for any of that. And for some people, it's going to take the entire 9 months to write the book. And that is totally perfectly fine, right? We have to, the one thing I've learned, if I could say one thing about the writing process, it is to trust in divine timing, because
Yes.
we have all these ideas of when we're going to get the book out and when the writing's going to come and all of this. And it flows so much better, and life flows so much better if we can just trust that the experience that we're having is what we are supposed to be having. It is meant for us. And that, if the writing gets stopped, there's something that we are to learn in this, and there's a reason, right? And it will make a better book. It will make a better life for us, right? We'll grow from it in some way. And so we can hold that container and give people that encouragement too, no
Yeah.
matter what's going on in their life, because things are going to come up.
Yeah.
Because it's life.
Right. Right.
And we'll be there for people. Okay, so as far as like nuts and bolts for the program, it is a $5,000 investment. There are payment plans that people can do, the different installments. And then we also have some fun additional add-on things that people can do if they want to. So if you also want editing and publishing with support, if you know already you want that built into it, there's a way you can just build that into your plan. And then if you want to do a authenticity photo shoot and get some beautiful, like, experience that, which is a wonderful way to get into your body, feel comfortable with yourself. I mean, I can't tell you, oh, I should share the story about my book, the cover of my book. So when I got my headshots done, this was like 5 years ago, okay? I got the photo back and I went, oh, that's on the cover of my book. And that picture is what kept me going to write the book.
So that's amazing that that's your story, because that's mine as well, because I had a vulnerability photo shoot. For those of you who don't know me or know much about me, for the past 3 years, I've been modeling and photo shoots as a way to support local photographers and designers. And last year I got a hit to do a vulnerability photo shoot, and just raw photos, no makeup. And I have this one shot, and when I got it back, I was like, that's the cover of my book. And so the fact that that's yours too, I'm like, okay, all right, we have a theme going here.
We got something here. I didn't know that. That is wild. That is so wild. Yeah, so it's so that's something that people, if they want that, there is something that can keep you
Yeah.
going, and that can help. I see you and I go, oh my goodness, look at who she is in the world, right? Like, I'm drawn to you for that. But sometimes we don't see that in ourselves.
Right.
So something about the photo shoot, like the experience of it, and like getting the photos back and go, oh my goodness, that is who I am in the world. And a really talented photographer who can see who you are and pull that
Right.
out. So that's a lovely thing for people to get to experience, life-changing. And then we're also putting together writers retreats, and like nice intimate writer retreats where we can I know I have trouble writing with all the balls that I juggle in my life. Sometimes it's like, let me get out of Dodge and get some by myself. And how fun that would be to like have that time by yourself, but in the company of other authors that are doing it, so you can actually share like things with each other, or the experience, or have lunch together and then go do and write your own thing for the afternoon, and then come back and touch base. So I'm super excited about getting to do those as well. Is there anything that I didn't mention that we didn't talk about yet about Writers Haven that we want to make sure we mention on this?
I would say that if you're at all curious, like, definitely we'll drop the link in. So definitely visit the site and learn more. And if you're at all curious, go ahead and apply. It's not committing you to it, but go ahead and apply, because the application process in itself, I think, will be very supportive of you and where you are right now. Because I find that every time I apply for something, it's like it causes me to think and futuristic, kind of like get clearer on what it is that I desire and what I want. So I think that's important to go through that process as well.
Yes. Yeah, it can help you get some clarity on your own goals with writing in the
Yeah.
future.
Because
Yeah,
you might
very
be somebody who's like, I've always wanted to write a book, but I don't know. There's something that about this that's sparking that desire in you. So I would say that's one of my missions and my values in my life that I live is follow your curiosity.
Mm.
So follow that if that's showing up for you.
Mm. And with all of this, right? I'm curious to see who we connect with,
Yeah.
who we get to play with for 9 months, who we get to create with, and where that goes, because it's been such a journey of doing these collaborative books and, you know, and helping authors to get their words on paper that I never would have imagined.
Yeah.
Right. So I have no idea where we'll be and what we'll be up to in May.
Right. No, it's, yeah.
I can't even imagine it. So it's this is a really just joyous thing to dream of for us, and I can't wait to see who we have apply and who we get to do these fun things with.
Yes. Can't wait.
So thank you so much for taking the time to talk, Robin.
Absolutely. My pleasure. So excited.
Thank you.